Today on the Green Band, we're diving into two of the year's most anticipated trailers. First up, we'll suit up for Captain America: Brave New World. Then we're turning up the adrenaline for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Will Ethan Hunt cheat death one last time? Get ready for the wild world of trailers, only on the Green Band.
Welcome to the Green Band. Now, here are your hosts, Michael Carr and Brian Fink.
So, Brian, we're back, man. We're back from episode 2 now.
Congratulations.
We made it 1 week.
1 week. We made it back.
I mean, that's better than we did at the end of season 1.
Yes. What? For the entire year of 2018,
right.
one episode.
Yeah.
So I would say this looks pretty good.
Not bad. We're doing good so far. Pat ourselves on the back.
There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
Insert sound effects later.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know why I did it. Like the Police Academy guy. I should just hold on.
Maybe we should get him. He's really good.
That would be really good. I submit my resignation officially. We'll get the Police Academy guy to come over here and do all the sound effects. Of course, we were talking about like Gen Z last week. They have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
right now.
none.
No, so we'll put a clip right here.
What are you in for?
I'll show you.
God damn it! Stop that! Oh, no, sir. No, not you.
There you go.
But don't switch off. We're still talking.
We're still here. Don't worry. So what's new with you, man? What's new in your world?
A lot of stuff, actually. Finally, we've convinced our kids to start binge watching stuff. I know we talked last week how this attention span of everybody's like, I don't want to see it. It's entertainment. Yeah. But they are totally into Lost. Remember Lost?
Oh, yeah.
That was like...
Just do not tell them how it ends. They might not.
Yeah, I haven't said anything.
I didn't watch Lost, but wasn't everybody the people that did? So you did.
Yeah.
You were a Loster.
Yeah.
Is that what you guys call each other? Losters?
Well, that's Losty.
You're all
Loster.
lost?
Yeah.
You can't find each other.
It's true. I am lost.
Yeah.
That's 100% true. But
well, I'm not talking about in your life. I'm talking about specifically... back up.
I was a Loster.
Okay.
My wife was into
We're going
it.
with
It was
Loster.
like it was funny. We had to finally get him involved. And one day we're at dinner, and my oldest was just like, I was talking to some guys at school. I'm like, already? That's like the biggest sentence I've heard in like a month. So he's just like, I was talking to some guys at school. Yeah, and he's like, they're watching a show called Lost, and it sounds really cool. Let's watch it.
It's this really cool vintage retro show.
By the way, my son doesn't sound anything like that.
I know. It's just
but
in my view, everyone from California sounds like that.
Right.
So it's nothing against your son.
Right. And it was like it was like Jen and I were like, oh wow, this is great. We're gonna watch
something
it.
we can connect with our
So we're
son
almost done
on.
in season 1, and it's great to see, a younger audience be like, can we watch another? I'm like,
that's cool.
yes, in sports, that's called a winning streak. Win. Like this is called binging. So we're gonna sit here. We're gonna go ahead and watch the most.
So is family like appointment TV these days? Binging old shows,
I think
right?
so. It was like very different.
I think the only other thing close to it would be like The Masked Singer or something. Or like that's a show that like the family can kind of gather around.
That's true.
Like
there's very few appointment TV that you can sit around and be like, hey, let's watch this together as a family. You know?
And didn't they call at the time, they called Lost sort of the last of the water cooler television, right?
That everybody would talk about.
Because it was right on the cusp of where broadcast started to really fall off.
Right.
And, so maybe it wasn't the very last one, but it was, I think.
But there's been a lot of shows. It started off with, the Seinfeld was in the early sitcoms.
Yeah, that was like
24 was a big drama. Grey's Anatomy was another one. People would talk about it. But like, this was one of the last ones that people are like, hey, did you see what happened on Lost last night? But it does you haven't seen the show, so I'm not going to give it away. And there are probably people out there who haven't seen it. I'm like, it does go a little off the rails.
Okay.
But I would not tell my kids that because I'm just happy that they want to watch something on TV and not look at a little small screen.
We'll say one last thing on that, and then we can move on. Which is, and you can speak to this as a writer, but I feel like there was a lot in the press about Lost at the time. Was one of the shows that they started not knowing where they wanted to go with it.
Exactly.
The writers, so they kind of painted themselves into a corner.
Right.
At one point, versus I feel like shows now. Did the shows now actually learn from that? Like, lesson for the writers on that, because it feels like the show's now more mapped out. Like they kind of know where they would eventually take the show if they hit season 6 or season 5, or they just say, oh, we're going to do this show in 3 seasons. That's it, because that's what their storyline.
Yeah, usually in the beginning, it's like, for people in the little inside info, they have to create what's called a Bible when it comes to episodics. And it's just like, you map it all out. So you know where you're going. So you really start at the end and you kind of like fill in. It's like reverse engineering a little bit. And it's like, but I think, that was J.J. Abrams, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Because Bad Robot, it's like, he was already very successful. He still is. But I'm saying, let's try something new. And I'm not sure they knew where they're going. He probably had, okay, these are 6 episodes, and let's see what we can do. Oh, great. But soon there's 6. Next thing you know, it's 20-some.
Yeah.
So, at that point, let's see where it goes. Because it did get to this, the best part about it was we were right there with them.
Yeah.
No one knew where we were going. And right now, it's great to see like a young generation be like, what's going to happen next?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we have to watch.
I love it. Maybe I'll do that with my daughter. That might be a thing that we take
fun
up.
to do.
Yeah, I might do Lost.
Great to watch something not animated.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, because right now we have Pokemon, and as far as I've been trying to learn all the Pokemon characters, it might be good to try to swear. Hey, what about this? How about this? This has explosions.
Is that Pikachu? Dad, they're not all Pikachu. They don't all look alike. Oh, okay. It's refreshing.
Well, cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. So let's move on to, we're going to introduce a segment this week. I'm excited about this. Every week we're going to do a quick little segment, talk about what just came out in the theater, in the movie theater.
Wow.
So this is called Cinema Spotlight.
Cinema Spotlight.
Okay, Brian, we're going to talk about 2 movies opening in theaters this week. The first one is called Here.
Right.
And you can see that movie anywhere.
Right.
Fuck, that was bad. We're leaving that in.
Play that intro one more time. Play the intro one more time.
You don't have to see it here. You can see it there. Da-da-da-da. Never mind. And Red One, which we talked about last week.
Please stop. Please start. Keep watching. Send me a song.
Slowly holds up a sign. He's holding me captive. Sorry. So, okay, here is a generational story about families and the special place they inhabit, sharing in love, loss, laughter, and life. Pretty vague for you.
Yeah.
Thanks, IMDb.
Right.
I'm kidding. This stars Tom Hanks, Robin Wright, Paul Bettany, and the big thing is directed by Robert Zemeckis.
So 3 of that 4, it's almost like a reunion.
Yeah, yes. That was the big news that came out when the trailer came out last summer.
Right.
Was people kind of framing this as a, what if Forrest and Jenny had their happily ever after?
If you like, you could spend the rest of the night here.
I could spend the rest of my life here.
And it's cute to see them hugging on screen like that. And they do kind of look Forrest and Jenny like. It's the same actors. But it got me. So I caught, like, when this dropped over the summer, it was like Today's Show or something. And I caught just the tail end of what they were talking about. And I legit thought for a second it was Forrest Gump 2. And I was like, why? Why were they? And then I was like, oh, wait, no, it's a whole different movie.
Yeah. And also, Jenny, she died in the first one.
She died.
And this is some kind of alternate universe. An alternate universe, It's not it's not Marvel. So it's like, but it's one of those things like the pedigree involved got me excited right away. But it's actually a very cool trailer.
Yeah.
It's a great concept because I'm very sentimental about a house and what happens there and the memories that come and go there that you build.
Yeah.
That's what makes a house. And so people don't understand, check out the trailer.
Yeah.
It's actually very cool. But then having Robert Zemeckis, who is like one of my favorite directors of all time. I mean, he's great.
Yeah, the pedigree on the trailer alone is like the director of Back to the Future, Contact, Forrest Gump, Castaway. It's like, okay. Okay, we'll watch it. Jesus.
In fact, they should have just saved time when you got the Tom Hanks to say CIMDb. That's it. That's it. It's like that many accolades and his biography, everything, his filmography, I should say, that he's done. So, but getting back together, I know it was kind of confusing. I think it can mislead people, but the movie comes out wide soon.
It's Friday. This Friday. Yeah.
So
out in theaters this Friday. So I kind of want to go see it. I will be honest, I was really psyched to go see it. And then, of course, as part of my research for the podcast, I looked at the reviews. They're not great, which is a bummer. I didn't really see that happening. It was kind of one of those ones where both critics and audience aren't loving it. Apparently, it's a little, to use a, I wish I had a better term, but boring.
Right.
I hate to use that term in movies because I feel like so one person's boring movies, another person's arts house, whatever. So but I will probably still go see it just because I have a massive popcorn addiction.
Right.
And I just like any excuse to eat popcorn in a dark theater.
No, he does. We don't even keep microwave popcorn
You
here.
can't. It's a problem. I have a problem.
But I would probably go do it just because I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
But going back to what you just said, when you have usually, to explain to everybody, if you have a critics reviews and audience reviews, and it's usually one-sided.
Yeah.
So when the critics are like, that gets panned, I'm like, okay, I trust the audiences because still one of the main marketing tools is word of mouth.
Yeah.
It really is. But when both sides are saying,
Maybe.
you're like,
it comes back to last week. And maybe wait for it on streaming.
Maybe wait for streaming. And then you go look at streaming and it's like, But no, I would.
YouTube. TikTok.
Who wants to watch bowling?
Yeah.
So it's like, but I agree 100%.
Yeah.
I just think that the concept, so let's backtrack. They dropped this trailer last summer, right?
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot since then.
In terms of marketing.
Yes.
I know. I thought the same thing. So what does that say to you?
So as someone who's coming this from a marketing point of view, I would say there's two things. One, there's a 50-50 split where we're not sure what to do with this project. Should we release it? Should we not release it? Because if we show more, it might be, I don't know.
Yeah.
But showing less sometimes is an indicator for me, like, this isn't really a true tease. And I'm going to tell you why. Because I want to see other stuff. I want to see other media, other platforms. I want to see I want to see more digital spots. I want to see, there's so much you could do with this concept, but it didn't happen. You know, it didn't happen. So I was a little hesitant just from the sheer fact that I didn't remember.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, when you first called me, we were talking about, I saw that it did release in limited theaters.
Yeah,
in smaller
it did.
markets.
Yeah, that's right. This is the wide release this Friday.
And I was like, wow, did this get bumped? Why is it so long?
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking not a year. Sometimes with teasers in the past, to me was more of a teaser trailer. They do release it a year up.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be a year out. I mean, they really do. But this is November.
Yeah.
We're at a year and a half already. So it makes me a little like, this isn't a major big budget. You had some big stars, but why are they hesitant?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the final reviews shake out as, because these are kind of early and stuff. And and like I said, I'm going to go see it myself just to kind of see. It's from a technical perspective. I think it's really worth seeing because they did a lot of really cool technical things in the movie. So even like a person like me can go and enjoy the technical aspects and be like, well, the story wasn't, but kind of revel in that. So that's what I'm planning on doing.
And by the way, just to give some context to our audience out there, Zemeckis is really good about, I don't want to say that, for lack of better terms, an experiment, but he likes to experiment with film.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the Polar
Polar
Express?
Express,
People were like, oh, this is live animation. So people, when it first came
it was
out,
the first like motion capture animation hybrid type thing.
They're like, it's creepy. It's creepy.
I remember
It's
that.
creepy. But like, you had to try it.
But people still really like those
It's a
movies,
great-
though.
My kids love that movie.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
that movie.
yeah.
It's like, but this could be this de-aging process and the technical special effects that they do. Again, you may look at the story and be like, I don't get it. But then if you look at it from a technical point of view, like, you know what? This is groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And it might actually set the
Exactly.
path for something else.
Yeah.
It's just like what Jim Cameron did with Terminator 2, with the Morpher. That whole special effects with that, it opened up a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I would say maybe it's a cinematic experiment, maybe not.
Yeah.
But I'm probably going to go check it out.
All right, cool. Well, moving on, we'll talk about the other movie opening wide in theaters. We talked about this last week. We talked about the controversy with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Amazon going over budget and all this. This is Red One.
Red One.
After Santa Claus, codename Red One, is kidnapped, the North Pole's head of security, Dwayne Johnson, must team up with the world's most infamous bounty hunter, Chris Evans, in a globe-trotting, action-packed mission to save Christmas. So it's high adrenaline. It is, Santa Claus in the gym.
Yes.
That's what this is.
So I said this last week. I'll say it again. I'm actually excited for this movie.
Yeah?
I have been for over a year. Again, just to recap, it got delayed.
Yeah.
It got bumped a year. It was supposed to come out last Christmas 2023. It's bumped to now. And it went over budget.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you're excited about it because one of the worst reviewed movies of the year currently has a 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
Yes.
Did I say I was excited? I mean, I did. I am credible, please. I say.
The cinema score has not come out yet since it doesn't really come out Friday, but I think it came with some other territories when people caught it. The critics were able to get a glimpse of it, and yikes. So I'm not going to say I told you so. Because last week was not impressed with the premise.
I may have to go live on my phone and capture my reaction by watching the movie in the theater.
Yeah.
But it's a Christmas movie, which I'm a sucker for.
Yeah.
It's an action movie, which I'm a sucker for. And rock, which always entertaining, I'm a sucker for.
Yeah.
And J.K. Simmons, too, by the way, who got ripped for this role.
Yeah,
I mean, he's really good. He always brings a great presence to films. But
I do love J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, he's great.
And a rip J.K. Simmons, sign me up.
Not Chris Evans. He'll get jealous.
Yeah.
But
He's not Captain America in this one. He's all dumbed down. Yeah.
And the thing is, we've already talked about how they've gone the marketing way of trying to, they started with The Rock.
Yeah,
They're trying Chris, and, we'll see what happens. I think they're going to really, I saw a couple pun TV spots about, what you need to do for Christmas, and they're going to go the full Christmas angle now. Yeah. And that's what we've done that in the past with a lot of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
But
I want to share before we end this one. I just want to share these with you, not to kick a movie when it's down, because I don't want to do that. But we are a comedy podcast.
Yes.
And when I started reading the reviews, I thought some of these were so good I had to share them with you.
Oh, please.
Okay, so Brian. Okay, so first one.
Wait, should we say if it's real or AI?
No, these are real.
Oh,
these are all real. I grabbed 3 that I thought were fantastic. This is from The Observer. As synthetically festive as an eggnog-flavored plug-in air freshener. This is real.
That's real?
That's a real review. Here's another one.
So technically, now I feel sorry for air fresheners.
I was like, eggnog air freshener actually sounds kind of nice, to be honest.
I'm not gonna say we have one from Bath and Body, but that's
is it eggnog with rum in it?
Yeah.
Right, yeah, that's a real review from these. Here's one from this one I've never heard of these people. Flick Philosopher. I don't know.
Okay,
but
that's
I'm
AI.
citing my sources. No, this is a real review,
okay.
but apparently it's a real person. Really wrote this. The anti-chemistry among its likable stars is bested only by the ugly CGI. Have some light festive violence, for kids.
Oh, God.
All right, and this is by far my favorite one from IndieWire. It is a movie that is playing in front of you. I can comfortably give it that much.
It's like, basically, let me translate. It's something to do.
Yeah.
If you want to watch paint dry, it's something to do.
It's a movie that's playing in front of you.
All right.
My God.
I will say this. When we used to work on movies back in the day, we would get around this. If it was, we could always tell when we get the quotes in from the studio. If it was IndieWire or was it Flick Philosopher or whatever?
Flick Philosopher.
I'm just like, if I got something from New York Times or Variety versus Flick Philosopher and The Movie Dude, which we used to get some of those. It's like we would take the attributes off, but keep the quotes on. Or so small legally, you couldn't see it. And it's just like, you don't want that.
Yeah.
If that's your best quotes, you're in trouble.
I remember a campaign that you and I were doing that on.
Yeah, I remember that too.
We didn't do it. The client asked, but I remember that.
I remember that.
I won't say the campaign.
Yeah, okay. We were like,
you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Because it's like we hid the attributes.
Yeah.
We don't want to know what source is saying. But, when you hear that, just go see Here, people. Just go see that. Just go see Here. On that note.
I'm going to say, in terms of box office this week, it's a little tough. You got Here or Red One are the two. Yeah.
One more editorial. I feel bad about that because I actually, I really wanted to see this movie. I'm a sucker for
go
Christmas
see
movies.
it. I say go see it. My girlfriend wants to see it. So I'm literally wiping away tears from the reviews. Oh my God. My girlfriend, Maddie, really wants to see this. She's excited about it. Right. And I say, fuck it, let's go. You know,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's enjoy some popcorn and whatever. You know,
Right.
that's fine. And I, you know, movies are like sometimes even when they're bad, they're good. You know what I
Sure.
mean? You still have something you can laugh about. It says, oh, I'll go
Right.
see it. I
Right.
like to support my industry.
Yeah.
And again, I have a massive popcorn addiction.
I know what to get you for Christmas.
That's
so.
right. Yeah, just popcorn. That's all. Okay, we'll move on to a next segment. We're going to talk a little bit every week about industry news,
Yes.
business, entertainment, business news,
And it's changing. Everything's changing.
constantly. So this is Hollywood headlines.
Hollywood headlines.
Okay. Do that again, please. Should we have the little news ticker? The
It's
little,
really weird.
Like the globes.
I didn't mean to do that. I have hiccups.
I think we have the little globe circulating and like the crossroads of the world. You know, I don't know. And then I'll do the whole segment like that, like an old timey, you know,
Yeah, here we
this week
go.
on Hollywood headline. No, right. Okay, so first thing I want to know is I found this article. Disney expands CEO search to external candidates, including EA's Andrew Wilson.
I couldn't believe this.
Why?
Well, because they're going outside the studio.
Yeah.
And though the rumor is, I can't confirm
Have
this.
they literally been talking about the 4 candidates inside the studio for like a friggin'
Forever.
year?
Forever.
For a year.
Yeah.
What are they so gun shy now after the Chapek thing? Is that what it is?
Yeah, but I'm sure there's a catch. I'm sure this guy has.
Okay.
He's a Disney pass.
Oh, wait,
holder.
it's
I'm sure he
it's
goes.
a-
I'm sure he has something.
He
That's
bought Magic Key Inspire Plus.
Yeah.
It's the next level up.
And the Lightning Lane Plus.
Yeah.
This guy's committed. He's, yeah.
Multipass. Orban Dallin Multipass. I can't stop thinking about that.
Well,
Now they have the Lightning Lane Multipass. I can't think of Corbin Dallin Multipass.
I can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
I just can't. It's like.
I did real quick. Side note: I went to Disney with
Yeah.
my girlfriend on Sunday, and I managed to go without buying the friggin' Lightning Lane Multipass for the first time, and it was a kind of fun. We did a bunch of the stupid shit that you never do. We did
love
Tom
that.
Sawyer Island.
Sure.
You know, which you never do that. Who does that?
Mr.
You know?
Toad?
It
You
was
do
like
whatever
I was like, let's make it a C ticket day.
Yeah.
You know, like
C
I'm not even gonna
ticket.
worry about that. Like we did get into Haunted Mansion with the thing, you know,
With the queue.
with the virtual
get to
queue.
go
But
once,
other than
that's
that,
fine.
it was a C ticket day, and honestly, we had a great time.
Yeah. We've
So-
done that many times. I
Yeah.
love doing that.
Yeah, it's kinda
just like,
nice.
just go check out stuff you don't do.
Yeah, just walk around,
Snow
hang
White.
out. Yeah.
Laugh at people who are just waiting in line.
People
It's usually at me. It's just like.
I just pictured you in front of Pirates of the Caribbean, sitting there like munching on popcorn and laughing at people, pointing and laughing, and be like, "Ha, Arkansas, you came so far."
Rookies.
Yeah.
By the way, this isn't Disney World. It's
Yeah.
Disneyland. Yeah, exactly. It's like.
You went west instead of east, dumbass. Never mind. So
We
why?
just lost the
why
whole
do you
East
think-
Coast.
yeah, we did. Sorry, guys. We love you. Well, more I was talking about Midwesterners. I can say that because I look like a Midwesterner, so it's fine. Why do you think they're going out of house or flirting with this?
To me, it says 2 things. One, and not in this order. We need fresh blood, a new thinking outside
blood
the
for
Disney.
Disney.
Yeah, a new victim.
The
I mean,
poison
not leader.
apples.
And 2, desperate.
Oh shit, desperate.
I think they're in trouble. I think people aren't going to the parks as much as they think they are, and I think after that drop for the Disney Plus, oh my God, the new slate that's coming out in 2025.
Yeah.
They spent some money.
Oh,
And I think that they're like, okay, how do we show people we make a profit?
interesting.
And-
Which we are not going to talk about that this week because
No.
it dropped today as we were recording.
Right.
But I think maybe next week we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a big promise there, and these movies look big.
Yeah.
There's a couple shows and a couple movies that are coming out, and they're
So the arms race for streaming is not over yet.
no, not even close. And this completely backs us up what we said last week. Like it solidifies everything that we had. Listen, it's all theories.
Yeah.
Until it really happens. But we're kind of living. Everything that's happening is happening right now. I mean, it's like we're seeing this real time. And at some point, there's going to be someone out there that breaks this model and says, this is how you make money.
Yeah.
And who's going to do it first?
I like that.
And now we got to be like, hey, we got this guy, this guy, this guy,
That gave
this
me
guy,
chills.
this guy.
Oh, I love that. Someone's going to break it. Who's going to do it first? I feel like this is a trailer right here. For
Mikey, that's withdrawal symptoms. You need popcorn.
Oh, okay. Okay. It was all the
But it was-
heroin. My bad.
But it's
That's
like I think they need to get someone who has what's not just an outside perspective. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you play Madden? Yeah, sure, great. You're the new Bears coach. I'm not gonna do that at all.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, he comes from EA, a different background that probably, if people don't know this, it has been like this for years. Video games is a billion industry that people can't get enough of. What pandemic? Okay, we'll all stay home and play more video games now.
I just don't get how that translates to. I mean, maybe they obviously see some leadership qualities in him, or like when talking to him. But for me, I don't really get how that translates to experiences, like events and experiences.
But this isn't the first time we've seen people go outside, industry insiders to bring someone in because they want to do, this guy's a financial background, or this guy has a creative and business background. This guy has a recruiting background, so we know how to build stuff. Yeah. It's so hard when you have your own company. It's like when you have to maintain what you have, take it to the next level, but also expand. Yeah. Who's going to help expand this and without losing money on all these ventures?
Sometimes I wonder how Disney could expand any further.
Well, according to Disneyland, you saw their plans after D23. It's like that thing. They're going to take out all those streets. They're expanding.
Crazy. Yeah.
And 10 years ago, they were like, there's no more room. Well, they found it.
Yeah, they found it. And well, funny enough that the Tom Sawyer Island thing that they're removing is actually in Magic Kingdom.
Right.
Not in Disneyland, which I thought was interesting because you would think that if you have to lose something, lose in Disneyland, that's where you
a lot
need
of
the
square
room.
foot right
they
there.
have
That's
so
a lot
much
of area
room
there.
in
Yeah, right.
Florida. It's but it is exciting. Side note, real quick, just like with the theme park wars, that's happening too now that we have Epic Universe opening next year.
Yeah,
and
can't wait
Universal
for
some reason seems like they can build shit just way faster than Disney can.
Yeah,
for whatever reason. So they're just on sort of full throttle over there.
Right.
And it is interesting to see Disney countering and everybody thought they were going to open a fifth gate, but now instead it seems like they're just sort of expanding those 4 parks that they already have in a big way. And, maybe they think, hey, the infrastructure's already there and the transportation and all that. We just need to, we can get more asses in the parks if we add all these attractions or whatever.
It kind of makes sense just, talking about it and those who are listening, if there's such these wars between the studios, because the Lightning Pass Plus is actually a model that they're copying, borrowing from Universal.
Oh, everybody has
because Universal
a form
had
of it,
500, like, here's $500.
Yeah,
you can go that day. But the thing is, if it's really an interactive experience, and that's what they're trying to push, that people want, and everybody loves that in Disneyland, they love that in Universal, they love that even in Knott's Berry, in Six Flags, they want that. It makes sense to bring in a video game CEO who's all about interactive.
Yeah.
Because that's what games are in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like, it makes you a part of the action.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason why they're bringing the background. It makes, it's theory saying, they're desperate. They're no, they have to be smart and have to go outside the Disney box.
Yeah. Well, just to wrap this one up, they're saying that the successor announcement is going to come in early 2026. So we got some time. We got some time. We got a little time.
Bookmark this one, folks. We'll come back
a year and a half from now.
We'll see if we were right.
So, okay, moving on to the next article. I thought this was interesting because I actually visited this lot, and I think you've been on it a couple times. John Mayer and Mick G, of all people, are teaming up to buy the Jim Henson lot here in Hollywood. And the Jim Henson lot also has an original Charlie Chaplin soundstage on it.
Which they filmed, right?
Yeah, so it has an 80,000 square foot facility, and that includes Charlie Chaplin's original 10,000 square foot soundstage and original woodworking shop, which I thought was interesting. And this is where Chaplin shot movies like The Kid, The Gold Rush, Modern Times, and The Great Dictator. So it's a historical studio in Hollywood, and apparently John Mayer already has his office there and records there as well. So they have like a recording studio on the lot. And so I think that he was just like, well, shit, I'll buy it. So I just thought this was fascinating.
It's also to help preserve it too.
Yeah.
I think these guys would do that. First of all, if anybody who hasn't been there, I don't know if they still do tours. They used to do it back in the day. But it was a great place. It's huge.
Yeah.
And it's awesome. It's like being in a moment in time, just frozen a moment in time. It's like, oh wow, this is how it was done for so many years. It's definitely a peek behind the curtain. But I think it's funny with John Mayer and McGee.
Yeah.
It's like they're just gonna do this. But you know what? Hey, Godspeed. I
Yeah.
think it's great.
Good for them. I just thought it was interesting.
I'd rather go to them and not some other real estate developing company.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
gonna be like, hey,
I'm
we're
going
gonna
to talk to John Mayer when I want to buy a place.
yeah, exactly.
Hey, they'll have Muppets in it, apparently. Yeah.
McGee, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Can I get some?
Yeah.
What department says action? Let me have that one. It's like, but like that's what I'm saying. I think it's cool. I
Nice.
think it's gonna be
nice,
good.
nice. Last thing we'll talk about today. So Netflix announced today that, or
Oh, this
maybe
is
not today,
good.
but recently,
Right.
that they recently debuted their ad tier. Okay.
Right.
And by recently, I mean 2 years. 2 years ago,
2 years ago.
Within this week, they debuted their ad tier platform, right? Where you could watch Netflix with ad supported Netflix, right?
Right.
Mid-May, it had 40 million subscribers. They announced this week it is now up to 70 million subscribers.
That is amazing to me.
I mean, the growth is unreal. And so what does this say about streaming ad-free? Is it dead? Are we really moving to fast channels and all ad-supported streaming? Like,
It says we went to Hawaii via England, Europe, California. We're not that far. We're 5.5 hours away. The point is, we went in this full circle
yeah.
where we've already been.
Yeah.
That people didn't want. Like,
And like, what would be great is if I could have ad-supported streaming, and then could I just bundle some of those together? What would that be called? I don't know.
and you can get it for a cheap rate.
Yeah.
You mean cable?
Oh,
We've been there.
that's it. We should call it that.
I mean, we've been there already.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I saw that too with the ads. But I didn't know.
think the one difference between cable and where this is all kind of heading is linear, right? So not everything's going to be linear TV.
Right.
That's the difference. Cable is linear no matter what, right?
Right.
Your show comes on at this time and that's it. So you're right. The bundling is back. The ad supported is back, but the linear has not stuck around.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's really funny because I just said in the beginning that we're watching Lost, and that's on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
And we're watching it, and it's like that has ads in it.
Yeah.
And when we started watching it, my kids were like, "What are these commercials for?" And I was like, sit down, son.
Back in my day,
What am I supposed to do during this? I'm like,
Yeah.
well,
most of us go to our smartphones.
that's what he did. He's like, hang on, go get it, get the iPad. I'm like, but it's like that's what we had. So I actually think it's fine, cheaper rate, but it's funny that that's what's since the beginning of media. When I went from print to TV, advertising has always been king.
Yeah.
That's what paid for everything. And it's like, it's just funny that even these studios and these streaming platforms are like, how are we going to make money on this?
Yeah. And it's funny too to me because music went through similar disruption 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And what's funny is they even went through a similar thing where they went, okay, you buy the physical media, then it went to, okay, we're going to steal all the media on Napster. That didn't work. We'll shut it down.
Right.
And then you got Pandora,
Right.
And these type of streaming services that were ad supported. But what's funny about that is I don't know if those have stuck. I mean, I think you can still have Pandora, but
I
has
have
really done it is
Yeah.
Apple Music and
Right.
Spotify and all these streamers that are ad free.
Right.
Although maybe I don't even know. Maybe they are ad supported too. Because I'm so wealthy, Brian. I don't need to pay for the, I can pay for the non-ads. So I wouldn't even understand that.
Insert cha-ching.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I have Pandora, and it's still, to me, it reminds me of radio.
Yeah.
And I hear the commercials come on because it's ad support, and then come on. It's like, but that's what I'm used to.
Yeah.
I mean, having nothing, like I'm used to Netflix not having any ads, but it isn't. 70 million is a big number.
Yeah.
That's a big number. It tells you people are like, you know what? Maybe someone else can take this financial burden off me.
Yeah.
And why
And
not?
it's, what you've got, I forget what the tiers are, but let's say, I think the 4K tier is like $20 a month for Netflix.
Got it.
And this one's $7, I think, for ad supported. You're saving $13. I mean, if you think about it, that's like a Taco Bell trip. This is how I equate
Or a
things in
venti
finance.
latte,
This is how I equate things in finance, Brian.
Yeah, by
is
Taco
how many
Bell.
Taco Bell trips to what I want. That's a better way to put it. An oat milk latte.
Add Taco Bell to popcorn. Okay. But I mean, but yeah, I mean, it's funny that that's what they want.
Yeah.
And we were there.
And we were there. Yeah. Well, cool. All right. Well, that was Hollywood Headlines. We're moving on here to the next segment and the one that everybody's been waiting for, Trailer Talk.
Trailer Talk.
In a world
Ooh, that was good.
One man,
Keep going.
one woman,
Bring it home.
no plot. Sorry. All right.
Okay. So, this week on Trailer Talk, we're going to get into 2 trailers. Last week we talked about
Presents.
someone shitting their pants.
Yeah.
What was that?
Presents.
For presents.
Presents.
You talk about shitting. I may shit my pants. Not really. These are 2 franchises. So I'm a huge Tom Cruise fan.
That is true. I can vouch for that.
Yeah, and I'm a huge Harrison Ford fan.
I can also vouch for that.
So we have 2 movies that both drop big. Well, one dropped a teaser, one dropped a trailer this week. Mm-hmm. And I kind of lost my mind watching both of them. So we'll start with Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and then we're going to get into Captain America: Brave New World.
I can't wait.
Our lives are not defined by any one action. Our lives are the sum of our choices. Everything you are, everything you've done, has come to this.
When the need for certainty is absolute and the odds are deemed impossible, the mission falls to him.
Should he choose to accept?
For every life you tried to save, you gambled millions more. And now the fate of every living soul on Earth is your responsibility.
That's the pattern, isn't it? You refuse to sacrifice the ones you hold close.
You've always been on the right side, brother. I have no regrets. Neither should you.
I need you to trust me. One last time.
Okay, right out the gate, this stars, of course, Tom Cruise, Hannah Waddingham, Haley Atwell, Simon Pegg, Ving Rhames. Nick Offerman is in this, I noticed.
I saw that too.
I thought that was, wow, cool. Directed by Christopher McQuarrie, who has directed the last 3 of these. Right. Since Rogue Nation. He did Rogue Nation, Fallout, Dead Reckoning, Part 1, and now The Final Reckoning. I thought it was pretty funny that they changed the title of this.
Right.
Because they literally announced, there's Dead Reckoning Part 1, and then in next summer, it was supposed to be at the time, Dead Reckoning Part 2, and now they're like The Final Reckoning. So now there's like a Part 1, and then...
There's never a Part 2
There's never a Part 2.
So they have to go back and change the name of that movie.
Yeah.
That's what they're going to have to do. Which, by the way, they've done in the past.
The Begin Reckoning? The Beginning Reckoning? I don't know what you call it.
They'll have to do like a
The
new
first
reckoning. A new reckoning.
Oh, a new reckoning. Oh, that's good. I like that.
I own that. Yeah.
Who's done that in the past? You said someone's done that in the past?
Yes. I will tell you the movie. It's a Tom Cruise movie.
Oh, shit.
Let's play a game.
I like it.
Let's
New segment.
A future. Aliens. You keep repeating it. It's like Groundhog Day with aliens.
Oh, I know what you want. Live, Die, Repeat. Yes.
But what was it originally called?
I should know
I got
this.
it. I worked on it. By the way, this is a true story. I helped do...
Edge of Tomorrow?
Yes.
Oh!
I worked on the title search for that.
I won Taco Bell.
Yeah. There's definitely going to be shitting in the pants. We'll clean it up in post. I mean, not
Did
really.
you know that Taco Bell now makes popcorn? No, kidding. Sorry.
But I'm saying that's what it was. They changed the title for that. Because it
interesting.
tracked better on home video.
That's crazy.
So they can go back and rename a movie. If anybody ever wants, they do that.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Edge of Tomorrow. That's a good movie too. That's a super cool movie.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I actually really like it.
It's
It was
really
a good
good.
concept.
He's
using
done-
the Groundhog
He's
Day
done
concept.
so many great movies.
But anyway,
I love him.
it was Tom Cruise,
Love
so I
him to
thought
death.
maybe he's into changing titles.
Yeah.
If anybody can get a title change,
he can do whatever the fuck he
It's
wants.
Tom Cruise.
Tom
So, exactly.
Cruise, you know?
Right.
All right, checking. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to bring up is, I don't know if you saw the poster. We'll put it up.
Right.
I love the key art for this. It's just Tom Cruise's face,
Yeah.
but he's all cut up.
Yeah.
And it's black and white.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. It's every Mission Impossible poster's been pretty much Tom Cruise's face. I mean, even since back to the first one in silhouette, like in like a side profile type thing. But this one, it's like gritty. It's like, ooh, we're getting fucking serious now. Like I like
You
that.
know the story behind this, right?
Yeah.
The poster?
No, the poster? No,
Yeah,
I don't.
the key art?
Yeah, no, I don't.
When they went to mass produce it, they accidentally forgot to hit color.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, they forgot to colorize it in Photoshop.
I'm joking. Please do not spread that story.
That was a Michael joke right there. That's like a joke I would have made. You just got points off your comedy license there. Ding.
Don't take a star off our review. I was just saying that, but it's actually a very cool poster.
It's very cool. And then,
and fitting for the last one, supposedly.
Yeah, so I have I have a little insider information.
Okay.
I won't say who I talked to.
All right.
Someone that knows about this. Let's say. He told me that, I fucked up already and said it's a he. Damn it.
We're in California. You never know. Sorry, that's bad. Cut that out. Please cut that out.
No, we're leaving that in. We're leaving that in.
We just lost that star.
That was fantastic.
No, it wasn't.
This person told me that the final reckoning was changed recently during the trailer cutting by Tom and Christopher McQuarrie. Oh. So I got that little insider nugget in the editing room. They were like, why don't we call it that? So I thought it was cool. And all the music throughout and the no sound effects was a Tom Cruise-esque. He did not want a lot of sound effects in this one. He wanted to be different. He wanted to feel different than any of the other Mission Impossible trailers up to now. And honestly, when I watched it, it feels like it elevates things, which is funny because you would think for an action movie that it would do the opposite. You would think, we need sound design and explosions and stuff. But it really does kind of elevate it to this sort of sipping tea out of my little...
and it gets your attention.
Yeah, it's different. Exactly. And that was apparently all from the top, from the man himself. So,
but not to tie it back into the Green Band, we just talked about that last night, how unique and different Presence was.
Yeah.
And how more filmmakers are trying to do that now and not just traditional marketing and like insert montage here, big cue here, especially for an action movie and a Mission Impossible movie. It's different. That's funny. I thought the same thing. It definitely was. It felt different.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, I got to see this because they're trying to do something here, and it got my attention. That's what I liked about it.
Speaking of the music, that's a custom. So first off, the trailer was cut by AV Squad.
Right.
Specifically, three gentlemen over there that Brian and I know: Tony Coronado, Eddie Hamilton, and Kevin Childress. Kevin's a good friend of mine.
Right.
Kevin cut the Terrifier 3 trailer.
That
came out earlier this week,
earlier
this year. That my company actually did the finishing on, so that was really
awesome.
cool.
That's great.
So the music though is by our friend Brian Yen.
Oh, right. That's awesome.
Yeah, at Verdant.
I didn't know that.
His new company, Verdant. Yeah.
Wow.
Big finish for Brian. I mean, he's done huge things already, but this is as big as you can get. So
is this one of his first cues for this?
One of his first customs under Verdant. Isn't that awesome for him?
It's like, I'll come out and I'll win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
there we go.
Exactly,
Like,
right? Let me start a new company and then just succeed. Like
this football thing's easy.
Yeah.
It's like
and I didn't try to get Brian on, but he's bound by pretty strict NDAs.
No, but that's interesting.
He says hi. And,
congratulations to these guys.
So pretty cool.
It's a great trailer.
Yeah.
And when you see something, like I said, I like to use the word groundbreaking or different, unique. It's always good.
Yeah.
Because that's a new kind of brand. And that's what we do in this business. So, and you start thinking, oh, wow. Because honestly, just like you were saying, Mission Impossible has its own brand.
Yeah.
And not just Tom Cruise. Like it has this whole feel. If you go back and see everything, how many been 8? How many?
This is 8. This is number 8.
So like the other 7, it's like they all feel like, they're in the same family. You know, maybe a little bit different here. It's a different thing here, but they did a great job making it like we're all related.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And so when you make something like this to add it, so you know it's still part of the family, but yet be unique. That's talented. That's a way to still, do branding, which I love. It's like a brand within a brand.
It's a slam dunk, and I'm particularly excited about the biplane stunt.
For people to know, Tom Cruise does his own stunts.
And now it's just like he's always trying to up it, right? Like what he's doing. So this one, he's hanging from biplanes, and I can't wait.
Better him than me.
Yeah, he's already hung from a big plane. Remember, like the big, like
that
the
cargo,
military cargo plane.
Right,
yeah. So, but this is like full on biplane air show type shit. You know?
And anybody's curious about that, you could just Google it.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Like they have like behind the scenes footage on this. It's nuts. I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah,
I'm just
I
like,
don't know.
And you have to stay in character. Like I could be like so trained as an actor, and then once I take off, I'd be like, I'd be like checking my pulse. I'd be like, no, hold on. It's like it'd be so awful. But
Brian, say the line. I
can't. But he stays in character. Seriously, check it out. It is crazy what he does. But yeah, so I'm excited for this one. I'm very excited about it.
I'm excited. So okay, move on to the next trailer. Captain America: Brave New World. Let's first watch it. Sure. Check it out.
You asked for me. Here I am.
You want to help me?
Is there anything you remember?
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States, Thaddeus Ross.
Whatever this is, Cap, be careful.
What do we know?
There were 5 shooters. This was a coordinated terrorist attack, sir.
I was a wartime general. Now I'm a wartime president.
Your inner circle's been compromised. Let me fix it.
Watch yourself. You're not Steve Rogers.
You're right. I'm not. Wait for it. We're on the brink of war.
I can't trust anyone.
Nothing about this feels right.
Captain America. You ever ask yourself, who's playing who?
Someone's been pulling the strings on everything.
You're under arrest? I don't want a variable out there that I can't control.
Stop!
Captain America, caught without his wings.
You like to play dress up and blindly execute the state's orders.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
What if this is a trap?
You don't even know what this is.
Since when were they red?
You want me? Come and get me!
Wow.
I wish you had done the wow from last week where you went, wow.
I know. This is more of like shocked and in it.
This trailer has style out the ass.
So much rhetoric to it.
So much style. It's like the military trailer I've always wanted.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And it's for Captain America. It's
Right.
not for Clear and Present Danger.
No.
Or something, but that's what it feels like.
Right.
You know?
It does. There's so much here. Just to break it down, there's something from a trailer point of view, and there's something from a fanboy point of view. And it's like you have the Red Hulk.
Yeah.
Now,
fanboy point of view.
Yeah, fanboy point of view. Then you have the military point of view where you have these two sides. And literally they're having split screen a few times in there.
So cool.
And he said, be careful you're being played or who you trust. Or that's already side. That already tells you it's two sides.
Yeah.
But also the line going down, a line's being drawn. I see that and like that's really cool to put. That's the rhetoric of the trailer, to put that in there and say, hey, look what kind of thing you're going to be. This is the new Marvel universe.
Yeah.
This is the next chapter. And people have been playing people for a long time in that, especially if you kept up with the Falcon series and everything. It's like, so I think it looks amazing.
To me, it'll probably still be PG-13, right?
Yeah.
This is a Marvel property,
Right.
but the tone of it feels much more mature.
Yes. You know, I think the whole Clear and Present Danger,
Yeah.
Jack Ryan, the government, I think, by the way, which is very pertinent today,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, it always has been, you know, what's going, and on the brink of war, but to have these superheroes and who's playing who, it's always happened in the movies, but in this universe, but this is the next chapter, and it feels like, hey, this isn't 5 years. This isn't
This isn't your dad's Marvel.
Right. This is.
It's almost like that. Like, think about it. Like,
It's
Marvel's
not
been
that.
around. What, we've been doing these movies for 15 years now?
Yeah.
Right? Like,
different.
You think about when I first started, I was in my early 20s. I'm 40
Right.
now.
Right.
My kid's she's of the age now. She's 10, where she's starting to watch some of the lighter PG-13s,
Sure.
like Ant-Man and the Wasp, things that aren't as violent. And it's like that. It's like, if you think about it, they're actually sort of moving to the next generation. They're taking those 20-year-olds that are now the 40-year-olds, and they're like, yeah, it's like...
We've seen you grow up. Now it's time to see a grown-up movie.
Yeah.
And it is darker. There's a little bit of darkness to this movie, too. And
Yeah.
it's like, and there's like literally a line being drawn. You're not Steve Rogers. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's for anybody who's like, well, I don't want to see this. Why does he have the shield? Well, they just told you. It's
Yeah.
not what you want. This is better. This is the next. This is what you're going to see. This is it.
He's obviously got some kind of Tony Stark type tech going on with a suit now, like a new suit and all this. So it's like, okay, what if Falcon almost became as powerful as Iron Man? That's kind of how I saw them like going with
He
this.
sliced a burning car in half.
Yeah,
with
it's like,
wings. I mean, it's like Jesus.
Yeah.
How do I hop on that plane? That's. But
the other thing I thought was really interesting about the trailer, and maybe this is like the new trailer trend, which we should drop a trailer trend. Trailer trends. We should drop that right now.
Right on. I'll do it again. Okay.
One more time. Sorry. Lack of sound design.
Yes.
Just so hits and lack of music, hits and stuff, but subtle on purpose. We're not hearing the glass shattering. We're not hearing the explosions or the gunfire. We're only doing just what's called a sound design, and not so much production, where it's just hitting, like that.
Right. Not having a full sound design is a sound design.
Yeah.
So just to give people a history, it's like it was always traditional music, that we had cards and narrators, and then they went to sound design. Everybody wanted to do sound design thing. Now we
Baby
don't have
Driver,
to right.
things like that.
Yeah.
Where it's just full, absolutely full of sound. Yeah.
But now it's selective.
Yeah.
It's what you want to do and highlight, and not every single hit.
Yeah.
Sound.
But isn't it interesting that we've got 2 trailers for 2 huge action franchises that are essentially similar in that?
Yeah.
Right? Mission Impossible went with it where they really didn't hardly any sound design, all music.
Yeah.
And this one went where hardly any music and some sound design, but not production sound. Like, you're not hearing the sound from the movie itself. You're only hearing design elements,
And by the way, when they let the movie speak, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of the film philosopher. You know what I'm saying? Like, you get that, like, when they try to cover stuff up, that's like, but like a
film philosopher.
Is that what it was? I don't know what it was.
It was something like that.
But it was like
flick philosopher.
Okay.
That was it.
Sorry, film philosopher. Someone named film philosopher's like, hey, thanks,
somebody
a-hole.
like at film philosopher's getting blown up now.
He's like, I just lost my professor job. Anyway, when this is the opposite. This is when you can see the material and the material speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That's something that to make note.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this might be a big film.
Yeah.
And I know at the press release, or when the announcement for this movie, when Harrison Ford came out, because everybody's going crazy, and
you're telling me about this. I didn't even know about this.
At the very end, he leaned back and went, "Raw!" You could probably see it online.
Fantastic.
He made like
I'm going to find that.
It was something like that.
Yeah.
And like, oh, he's the Red Hulk, because
Fantastic.
he was in the comics. People know that. It's this whole thing. And by the way, I'm not saying he's good. I'm not saying he's bad. I don't want to give anything away, but he's not good. No, I'm just saying.
It's pretty obvious.
I thought they were all great. It's just like, but if we get these 2 together, it might be the ultimate Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was.
And
really
I wonder
bad.
if we. Oh wow, wow! No, I love that.
Red and green.
red.
Oh, that one you like? Okay, we'll go there.
No, I like that. We'll keep that one. That was good. That was good.
But yeah, so that was a huge drop. Like a big, like my drop, I mean like jaws dropped. Like they were like, wow. Because already they're like, oh, you got Harrison Ford. And now this?
Yeah.
I mean, by the way, this is a good cast in this.
Oh, huge cast. Anthony Mackie and Harrison Ford.
Right.
Liv Tyler's in this.
Yeah, great.
And Tim Blake Nelson.
Great.
So, and then also a bunch of Giancarlo Esposito.
I've always loved him.
So, amazing. I'm not familiar with this director, Julius Ona. So I'm kind of curious, it's really interesting to see some new blood in the Marvel universe of directors. So.
And I think they want to, again, going back to like them looking for a new CEO, and they have to expand.
Yeah.
They have to evolve like everything else. We've seen what the Marvel universe is. We've seen during COVID, we've seen post-COVID, and now it's like, hey, this is the next post-COVID.
Yeah.
We're here, a whole new they're dedicated to streaming. They'll put it in the theaters, but they're dedicated to streaming and making this multi movie / streaming experience work.
Yeah.
Theater / streaming experience work.
Yeah,
and I think this would be a good tentpole movie to do it.
Oh yeah, no, I can't wait. I'm so excited.
So
I was like, it was almost like Christmas Day the other day when those two dropped together.
It was
like,
crazy.
Oh my god! So
I was going to call you, but I wasn't sure if you took the day off for Final Reckoning.
I know it's Final Reckoning holiday circled on my calendar now.
But
Mission
anyway,
Impossible.
it's really cool.
Yeah,
That's good.
So this was a good Green Band. We're excited to come back next week. I think next week we're going to be talking about Wicked.
Oh, I can't wait.
Because that is going to take over the universe.
That's the big talk in my house.
That is going to be a big deal. I will just say, as a little preview, that campaign has been phenomenal.
They're tying in with everything.
And we'll
do multi-branding next. We'll talk about tie-ins.
Yeah, so we'll leave that for next week, but next week's Wicked, and that's it.
Before we go, real quick,
sorry.
Why don't we tell people where they can find us?
Oh, that's a good idea.
Questions. Maybe tell them where we can go.
Yes.
Check us out.
So we're online, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram right now. At greenbandpodcast is our handle for all of those. And then we have a website called greenbandpodcast.com. And then if you want to email us, email the show and put any questions in. Maybe bring up something you disagree with us on or something you agree with us on. Wouldn't that be something? That is...
We're not going to say it'd be a first.
greenbandpodcast@gmail.com. And yeah, that's great. And we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you for joining us this week on The Green Band. The Green Band podcast is produced by Brian Fink and Michael Carr and brought to you by Karma, Creative Post Experts. All media in this production is used under the protection of fair use. Follow The Green Band on social media. Subscribe and like on YouTube. And please give us a rate and review on your favorite podcast platform. We'll see you back on Friday with a brand new episode of The Green Band.